Hello, and welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, and we'd like to bring onto the studio, onto the table here, Gregorio Perez. Gregorio will also be fighting on the card that we got coming up at the Boulder County Fairgrounds, the Brawl. And we're kind of excited for this event. I'm telling you what, Colorado needs this type of action, this type of promotion. We're breaking away from the club scene. We're getting into national type fights, competition. This is definitely a fight card that you don't want to miss. I mean, this is actually something that's going to have the boxing fans talking for a long time and salivating and waiting for the next one. Gregorio Perez, we want to talk to you about this card. How do you feel about being part of this event at the Boulder County Fair?
Honestly, I'm excited. It's got to be one of the best cards I've seen in a while, featuring some of the best talent we've seen. I mean, we've got Malik over here. We've got Ramirez, who his brother is me. Personally, I don't know him, but he's got to be just as good. We have a few of the other fighters that we introduced, and me. But I'm pretty excited. It shows a lot of opportunities and opens windows up for the young talent we have here in Colorado. We're not just, a lot of people see us as a bump kind of state.
That's true.
Fighters out of here don't think it's an easy win. Well, this card will show how much more we are.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, the whole purpose of this card, and it's being promoted by myself and Raul Utahara in conjunction with MGM Promotions. So actually, this is the whole concept is to bring the talent out of Colorado. So actually, we're picking the best of the best in the state to perform. And actually, you guys that are on this card, you can kind of feel proud because you're considered the best of the best. So anyway, tell us a little bit. You've been a pro for what, 3 fights now?
3 fights, yeah.
3 fights, and so you've had a chance to get into the ring, mix it up. You actually, on your second fight, you actually ventured and went out of town and got a dose of what it is to go fight in another territory, in hostile territories, and another promoter. So you're kind of getting the experience you need. What do you expect of this fight? What do you expect to come out? I mean, obviously you're fighting a guy coming in that his plans are to stop you in your tracks. So let us know what do you plan on this fight? What's your whole plan? Do you have a plan, or are you going to fight your way? Or give us a little bit, give the fans a little bit about an insight of how you're going to approach this fight.
I mean, we could all say we always have a plan, right? We always make a game plan. And I always start off with mine, stay on the outside. You're a tall guy, box now, use that jab. But I get excited with myself. I'm not gonna lie. So I start going in hard, and I always end up in a brawl, which personally I love. I love having fun. To me, it's about entertainment. It's not just about winning. We are entertainers. But at the end of the day, it just really depends on that first round. It depends on how I feel about the first 30 seconds. Is when you feel his power, you feel his speed, his timing, his defense, and figure out the rest of the fight from there.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys got a plan. I'll tell you what, you're in with Malik. You got Ramirez over here coming in from Juarez. This show is, I'm telling you, this show is going to be so exciting. I can't wait. Usually I get nervous before we put a show on, and you can talk to Raul. It's not easy to put these shows on if you're going to put them on a higher level, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it from here on. Your opponent, do you know anything about him?
I know he's an MMA fighter.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't step in the ring.
Okay, good.
I'm not saying back out. My last points have backed out for the last 2 fights, but it's one of those things where us as boxers kind of enjoy, because the whole competition between boxing and MMA, and there's the Conor McGregor and Mayweather, and it's a funny thing, us boxers, we can't go in an MMA ring. We don't grapple. We don't do that stuff. But every MMA fighter thinks he can box.
Yep.
And I'm like, you might have some skill, but it's not enough for us.
That's right. We plan to show them.
And we plan to show them.
Okay, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. That's Gregorio Perez. Stay with us when we bring additional fighters that are on this card. This is a show, so come back and see us. Stay tuned. Okay. And everybody, until we come back to the next segment, keep them hands up, man. Keep them hands up. Keep them hands up. All right? We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson. We've got a group of boxers here that are all participating in this July the 2nd Boulder County Brawl, which will be held at the Boulder County Fairgrounds. It's an MGM Promotions fight card in conjunction with Ghost Town Promotions and Denver Boxing Academy. Up next, we have one of my personal favorites, Misael Lopez from the Denver Boxing Academy. Misael will be in a 5-round super featherweight fight against Devin Hostler from St. Joe, Missouri. Misael is coming off of his impressive pro debut, where he took on a grizzled veteran here from Colorado that everyone's familiar with, and wasn't an easy fight, but Misael showed, you know, what his mettle is, and I know he's looking forward to this upcoming fight. So Misael, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Steve.
Let's talk a little bit about how you felt about that pro debut and advancing to this next fight.
Yes, sir. We've been waiting for this pro debut maybe since about March earlier this year, so it was really nice to finally make it happen. You know, it's really nice when you're coming up in boxing, you always want to wait for that moment. You know, when you finally get to put a strap on those smaller gloves, you know, no headgear kind of stuff. It all runs through your mind, and it was just really great, man. It was nice to have a lot of support there as well. A lot of Colorado families, you know, really showing love to us. And I'm really excited for this fight, man. Really ready to do it again. Give the fans a nice show, man.
Good. Now this kid Devin Hostler, I'm assuming you don't know much about him, because probably like Gregorio, probably like Malik, you don't even care.
No, sir.
Okay, so you don't know much about him either?
I do not. We haven't really heard much about him, but just like we always do in this camp, just like my teammates here, we always get ready for whatever, man. We train hard, just like if it was a championship fight, so we'll be ready, man. July 2nd.
Okay, now you know I'm big on family. Let's talk about your family a little bit. I know once again you're just like Malik and Gregorio, Baltazar. You guys have a lot of support from family members. Talk about your mom, your dad, your siblings. Talk about family.
Family's been the key to my success in my career so far, man. Honestly, they've always had my back, and it's really important, you know, to be able to go back home, because it's tough, you know. Sometimes going through campus stuff, it gets tough. Sometimes going through a lot, you put your body through a lot of stuff like that. So it's nice to have support at home, man. It's really nice. So I really appreciate that. They've always been there for me, you know. Anytime that I've needed anything, my father's been really strong in my career, so I'm really happy for that. I just recently got engaged with my fiance, and so that was very special for me as well. I have a baby on the way coming anytime soon. We're in the waiting game right now, so I'm very excited for that as well, man.
Oh man, I'm happy for you. You know, like I said, you guys know I'm all about family, so I'm really happy for you. Let's talk a little bit about a guy that I can't stand. You know, a guy that's your trainer, your manager. Talk a little bit about him and how important he's been to your amateur career moving into your pro career.
Oh man, Aurelio Martinez has been really important in my career as well, man. Just like several other significant people, man. There was a time where, you know, I almost called it quits, you know, a few times back in the day. I also played soccer. There was times where I was trying to balance out, you know, making decisions, and he made that difference, man. He gave me a call one day, said, hey, you still in the gym? He said, get back in here, man. Let's get you back on track. Let's start working towards your pro debut. And it was a big step, man. He's a big part of that. So I really appreciate what he does, you know, getting these shows together. He's really about the fighters first, you know. He really takes care of his fighters, and I really appreciate that, man. So thank you for him in my career, man, definitely.
Oh, of course, you know, I'm kidding. You know, Aurelio and I go back 40 years, you know. He and I and Raul, you know, we go back. I have nothing but respect for these guys. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that one of the reasons why a lot of you people around the country haven't heard the name Misael Lopez is because he was embroiled in what has been a bitter, you know, dispute regarding our undocumented citizen boxers here in the United States. Misael, even though he was not born in the United States, he's been here since he was 1 year old. He actually graduated from Denver North High School. Everything about him was leading to professional. If he wanted to play soccer, wanted to box, whatever. But because of these archaic rules that they have in USA Boxing, you fans got deprived of seeing one of the best boxers in the country. That's all now in the past. Just like with Malik, not looking in the rearview mirror. Baltazar, no rearview mirror. Gregorio, no rearview mirror. Everything is forward from now on. Let's talk one little bit, you know, about all you guys. You all have a little bit to do with USA Boxing. Okay, talk about USA Boxing, but let's start with Gregorio.
USA Boxing.
Now, don't be too negative. Let's
Don't
just.
be too negative.
Okay. I'll be negative for you. Okay.
It has its ups and downs. You know, Misael's experienced it. I'm not sure about his performance, but like Misael, I did experience a lot of that non-citizenship issue with national tournaments. Of course, I'm not a veteran. I think students too have been involved a lot longer than I have. But the scoring system can be a little bit better, but like it is, it's an average thing. We're not in the hurry each other whether to score points and win. In and out.
I had, like we said earlier, I had good success in the USA boxing thing. So I mean, I did a lot of nationals, traveled a lot, competing and doing all that. I mean, I had a good experience doing the amateur boxing, doing the USA boxing.
But we got to a certain point where you
Yes,
feel
sir.
like, what happened?
Just went time to switch over after the Olympic trials. Just got to that point where it's time to step it up to a new stage, new level.
So as we said before, all these guys, they have, as with everything, everybody has feelings about the way certain things went, but nobody's looking in the rearview mirror now. It's all looking forward. That's going to be a part of what's going to be the big show on July the 2nd up in Longmont, Colorado at the Boulder County Fairgrounds. Raul Guitarra with Ghost Town Promotions, Aurelio Martinez, Denver Boxing Academy, in conjunction with MGM Promotions. They're going to put on a great show. These guys here are just 4 of the guys that are on a fight card that will have 9 guys. We'll have 2 more here that we'll interview today. Unfortunately, we won't have the whole crew here, but you'll see them all on July the 2nd. Hope you can make it. If you don't, you'll make the next one, guaranteed. Okay? All right, you guys, thanks a lot. We'll be right back in just a second with our next guest.